Leo's pay from the unit was minimal. He found a side job to save money. He provided a service for a wealthy client. The task involved neutralizing a rare toxin. Then he discovered he was pregnant. He heard the client's men plan his death. He fled back to his employer's estate. His boss was the very same wealthy client. Recognition would mean a fate worse than death. He clutched his stomach and planned to disappear. A hand gripped the back of his neck. Julian's voice was a low whisper. Where did he think he was going with his child? A black cloth covered his eyes. He was led onto a luxury vehicle. The car moved in winding patterns. His training told him this was a new location. The client was a man of extreme secrecy. Each session happened in a different place. He was pulled inside a lavishly appointed room. The space felt both strange and familiar. Perhaps they had used this safe house before. Before he could place it, a door opened. Hands yanked him into the darkness. The man's body was incredibly hot. The heat felt like it could sear his skin. An urgent kiss was pressed to his lips. His clothes were torn away in a desperate haste. Leo responded with practiced submission. He was lifted and carried to a large bed. Teeth grazed the sensitive skin of his neck. Leo gasped, his hands on the man's shoulders. A rich, expensive cologne filled his senses. He whispered for the man to be gentle. His plea was silenced by another deep kiss. The client was afflicted with a symbiotic toxin. It flared up on the 15th of every month. They needed a man with a clean biological profile. The client's preference for men was well known. Leo accepted the job to save for a future partner. He thought he would be providing medical support. He did not expect to simply lie there. His first instinct was to run away. Then he saw the offered payment. He decided to endure it. $2,000 a session was a fortune. It was more than his annual salary. The night was long and fevered. The first light of dawn was breaking. The client finally released him from his grip. Leo stood on unsteady legs. His back ached with a deep, throbbing pain. After cleaning himself, he dressed quietly. He was blindfolded and led back to the car. He understood the protocol perfectly. The client's identity was a dangerous secret. He never asked questions to avoid being silenced. After the first time, he never wanted to return. But the client's security detail was formidable. Their skills far surpassed his own. Their weapons were always visible and sharp. He feared a single word of protest would be his last. He dozed in the car on the way back. The weight of the money felt heavy in his hand. He wished the client would find a permanent cure soon. This arrangement was draining him completely. He returned to the unit's barracks exhausted. He collapsed onto his bunk, seeking sleep. His commander shook him awake moments later. His partner, Alex, had an emergency. Leo was ordered to take his shift. He sat up, a sharp pain shooting through him. He almost refused the order, but Alex had covered for him last time. He changed into his tactical gear. He quietly climbed to his surveillance post. It was a perch high in the rafters. Alex was a more skilled agent than him. He usually took the high-profile shifts. Tonight, the boss was sleeping in his master suite. Leo fought to keep his eyes open. Sleep eventually claimed him. He shifted in his sleep and lost his balance. He tumbled from the high perch. His training kicked in instantly. He twisted his body like a cat. He landed silently on the plush carpet. He looked up with a guilty heart. The boss, Julian Croft, sat on the bed. His silk robe was wide open. Leo could see faint marks on his chest. He realized what he was seeing. He dropped to his knees immediately. His head was bowed low to the floor. Julian spoke with a slow, deliberate tone. Leo was the first agent to sleep on duty. A chill ran down Leo's spine. He was finished. His colleagues whispered about the boss. Julian Croft was a famously ruthless billionaire. His methods were brutal and unforgiving. Sleeping on the job was a fatal mistake. Julian's voice cut through the silence. He noted that Leo was not Alex. He ordered Leo to raise his head. Leo slowly looked up. He saw a distinct bite mark on Julian's chest. It was on the left side. He remembered the client from last night. He had been on top of the man. He had bitten his chest in a moment of pain. He recalled it was the left side. Julian studied his face for a long time. He commented that Leo had nice eyes. Then he ordered him to remove his tactical mask. Leo quickly pulled the mask off. Julian's brow furrowed in thought. He asked if they had met before. Leo's mind raced with panic. Had the boss taken a liking to him? Julian's preference for men was an open secret. A colleague mentioned seeing a blindfolded man. He had been led into the penthouse recently. Leo stammered an excuse. Perhaps the boss had seen him on duty outside. Julian beckoned to him with one finger. Leo crawled forward on his knees. Julian tilted his chin up, studying his face. Leo held his breath, terrified. A familiar, expensive cologne wafted towards him. His heart skipped a beat. It was the exact same scent as the client. The connection was undeniable. He couldn't understand what was happening. Back in the mess hall, he tried to eat. He picked up a piece of fried chicken. A wave of nausea hit him. Everyone at the table stared. His commander gave him a disdainful look. He said Leo had a weak stomach for rich food. He took the chicken away. He gave him a simple salad instead. Leo ate a few bites of lettuce. The nausea subsided slightly. His commander sat beside him. He asked what was wrong with him lately. He suggested Leo see a doctor. Leo rubbed his stomach. He said it was nothing serious. Seeing a doctor required official clearance. The request would go through several channels. Julian would eventually know about his health issues. For some reason, he did not want that. He feared Julian's intense gaze. If not for a visitor today, Julian might not have let him go. He picked at his salad without any appetite. He just wanted to be forgotten. The next day, his contact from the side job called. The client wanted to see him again. He swapped shifts with a colleague. He slipped out of the estate late at night. He turned into the designated alley. A sleek, black car was waiting. Two imposing guards stood on either side. Their hands rested on their holstered firearms. His heart felt cold with dread. He forced a servile smile. He asked the guards why the client needed him. One of them spoke in a flat voice. The residual toxins had not been cleared. They needed him for another session. Leo hesitated for a moment. He explained he was not feeling well tonight. He asked if they could find someone else. He said he would forfeit the payment. The guards just stared at him coldly. One of them drew his weapon slightly. Moonlight glinted off the polished steel. A jolt of fear shot through him. He quickly changed his mind. He would go. He scrambled into the luxurious car. Inside, there were blindfolds in various colors. He grabbed one and tied it over his eyes. He was filled with a deep sense of regret. He never should have taken this job. It was all because of his own greed. His commander said unit members could marry at 26. He preferred men, but he wanted to provide a good life. He wanted to buy a small house for his future partner. So he started saving his money this year. 6 years of saving would be enough. But then this strange opportunity appeared. Now he just wanted it all to end. He was led inside, still blindfolded. The room was unusually quiet. The silence made him uneasy. He was about to speak. Then the familiar scent filled the air. His anxiety lessened instantly. The client seemed calmer tonight. He gently traced Leo's lower lip. He kissed him softly. His fingers toyed with Leo's earlobe. Leo's body went limp at the touch. Their chests pressed together. The client's skin was not as hot as before. The remaining toxins were likely weaker. He was carried to the bed. The movement loosened his blindfold. The room was lit by a dim candlelight. His vision was blurred by unshed tears. He could not make out the man's face. Dawn was breaking when he was finally released. He clutched the blindfold to his eyes. He walked on weak legs to the bathroom. This location was a luxury hotel suite. It was spacious with a private hot spring bath. The client sat on the edge of the bed. He seemed to be watching him. The blindfold slipped from his face. Leo shut his eyes tightly. He fumbled in the water for the cloth. He quickly tied it back on. He heard movement from the bed. The man was getting up. He was walking towards the bath. A cold fear gripped Leo's heart. He spoke in a hoarse whisper. He promised he saw nothing. The man stepped into the water behind him. He stood very close. Something hard pressed against his lower back. He felt a moment of relief and then a blush. A hand toyed with the knot of his blindfold. A husky voice whispered in his ear. They should do it one more time. In the water, he had no leverage. He could only cling to the man's shoulders. He eventually passed out from exhaustion. He vaguely felt being carried and cleaned. He was placed gently on the bed. The blindfold was removed from his eyes. He forced his eyes open, trying to speak. He could not see the man's face clearly. Then he fell into a deep sleep. He had planned to leave immediately. Instead, he slept until the evening. The bed was empty when he woke up. He cautiously opened the bedroom door. The two guards turned to look at him. He hurried back to the unit's barracks. His commander was waiting for him. His face was stern. Leo's scalp tingled with apprehension. The commander said the boss wanted to see him. He pushed open the door to the office. Julian was sitting at his desk, reading. Leo was about to climb to his perch. Julian's voice stopped him. He told Leo to come grind ink for him. That was a servant's job. It was not work for an elite operative. But an order was an order. He walked over obediently. Julian reached out and pulled off his mask. He smiled slightly. He said Leo looked like a cat. He told him not to wear a mask for close duty. Leo acknowledged the order. He began to grind the ink stick. The repetitive motion made him drowsy. He tried not to yawn. He blinked rapidly to clear his vision. Julian paused his writing. He asked if Leo was tired. He told him to rest on the nearby couch. Leo was stunned. He immediately knelt on the floor. He insisted that he was not tired. Julian chuckled softly. He asked if Leo was disobeying his orders. His heart pounded in his chest. He agreed to obey. He moved slowly to the couch. He hesitated, then began to unbutton his shirt. Julian was suddenly behind him. His warm breath was on Leo's neck. Leo's ears turned bright red. He dropped to his knees again. He was afraid of dirtying the boss's couch. Julian laughed. His smiling eyes captivated Leo. Leo was too stunned to hear his next words. The boss was incredibly handsome. He wished such a man could be his partner. Julian pulled him up. He gently stroked his cheek. He said Leo was cute when he was dazed. He kissed the corner of his mouth. He led him to the couch and sat him down. He pushed him back and wrapped an arm around his waist. Leo tensed, then forced himself to relax. He was just property of the estate. He would not resist whatever Julian wanted. He waited with a pounding heart. But nothing more happened. He slowly drifted off to sleep. In his dreams, he felt a soft kiss on his lips. He slept until morning. He was still groggy when he returned to the barracks. His commander asked him how it went. He said Julian hadn't punished him. He had even let him sleep on his couch. The commander looked at him with surprise. His gaze shifted, then he sighed. He told Leo to rest for the night. Leo lay down and fell asleep again. He woke up when it was already dark. He scratched his head in confusion. He was known for being a night owl. Why was he so sleepy lately? His commander had changed his schedule. He was now permanently stationed in Julian's suite at night. He stood in the room watching Julian eat dinner. His own stomach growled loudly. He had become extremely hungry lately, but he couldn't stand the smell of meat. It made him want to vomit. Dinner in the mess hall had been fish. He hadn't eaten a bite. He had thrown up everything in his stomach earlier. Julian entered the room. Leo quickly lowered his gaze. Julian asked if he was hungry. He shook his head. His stomach betrayed him with a loud noise. His face burned with embarrassment. Julian gestured for him to come over. He pulled him down to sit at the table. His smile was gentle. He told him to see what he wanted to eat. Julian was acting like his former self. He was so kind. After dinner, Leo ate several sour candies. Julian watched him intently. He asked if he liked them. Leo's eyes lit up. He said they were delicious. The next day, Julian gave him a large jar of them. While he was eating, a rival agent sneered. He accused Leo of selling his body for favors. He said it was a disgrace to the unit. Before Leo could respond, the commander slapped the agent. Leo felt a bit awkward. Later, Alex took him for a walk downtown. He told Leo not to mind the other agent. In the unit, only the boss's orders mattered. Alex looked at him with pity. He said he knew Leo's life was hard. Serving Julian must be difficult. He commented that Leo looked sick and had lost weight. Leo shook his head. He didn't actually dislike Julian. When he was 15, he was always hungry. One day, he ate everyone's rations from the kitchen. The commander was furious when he returned. He punished Leo with no food for a day. He sat by the estate's pond, starving. He stared at the fat koi, crying from hunger. Someone silently placed a plate of cookies beside him. He devoured them gratefully. When he looked up, he only saw a retreating figure. That night, the commander gave him his dinner. He noticed everyone's portions were larger. There was even fish. He realized it must have been the boss he met. Julian was a good person. He gave him snacks and let him sleep when tired. Leo stopped in front of a jewelry store window. He stared at a silver locket. Alex tried to pull him away. He asked who he was buying such an expensive gift for. He reminded Leo he was saving for a partner. Leo shook his head. He held the locket tightly in his hand. He wasn't saving anymore. He now spent every night with Julian. Julian was his partner. In a few days, it would be Julian's birthday. He wanted to give him the locket. His contact sent a message. The client needed to see him. He sent Alex away. He took the locket and went to the designated house. He couldn't continue the side job. Julian desired him now. He couldn't risk being with another man. It would be unclean. It would disgust the boss. The same two guards were waiting for him. He obediently got in the car. He put on the blindfold. The door opened and a hand pulled him inside. A mouth was about to press against his. He covered his own mouth with his hand. The man paused. His voice was low, artificially altered. He asked what was wrong. Leo dropped to his knees. He begged to be released from their arrangement. He asked the client to find someone else. The man demanded a reason. Leo explained that he had fallen for someone. If his master wanted him, he belonged to his master. He took out the money he had been paid. He offered it back to the man. The silver locket fell from his pocket, clattered on the floor. He panicked, fumbling for it in the dark. He heard the man bend down. He reached out his hand blindly. He asked for the locket to be returned. He said it was a gift for the one he loved. The one he loved. The client's voice was laced with anger. He slapped the locket into Leo's hand. He told him to get out. Leo clutched the locket and left the room. He felt a wave of relief. He fumbled his way back to the car. The guards watched him with suspicion. The car started moving, but it wasn't going back to the drop-off point. He slowly untied his blindfold. He heard a few coded words. The boss was displeased. He was no longer useful. He should be eliminated. A knife suddenly stabbed through the seat. He used his agility to leap from the car. The vehicle exploded into pieces behind him. The two guards were highly skilled. He could defend himself at first, but he was soon overwhelmed. He was forced to flee. A sharp pain radiated from his lower abdomen. Cold sweat poured down his face. He ran blindly toward the estate walls. He managed to climb over them. The estate had many patrols. The assassins would not dare to follow him. He staggered into the garden, sweating heavily. He ran into his commander on patrol. His vision went black. He collapsed on the ground. He woke up in the unit's infirmary. His commander stared at him grimly. His brow was furrowed with worry. Leo asked what was wrong. The commander's face twisted with anger. He asked if Leo had eaten the pills from his room. When Leo was 15, he had been starving. He had searched the commander's room for food. He found a box of pills and ate one. He had occasional stomach pains after that. Private checkup revealed no poison. He never told anyone, fearing punishment. He nodded hesitantly. The commander was furious. Those were experimental fertility drugs. He asked when Leo would learn to control his appetite. He demanded to know who the father was. He said the doctor confirmed a pregnancy of over a month. He reminded Leo he had only been with the boss recently. If Julian found out, he would be killed 1,000 times. A cold dread washed over Leo. He slowly placed a hand on his stomach. He was pregnant. It was the client's child. Another wave of nausea hit him. His abdomen cramped painfully. Tears streamed down his face. He begged his commander to get rid of it. The commander's eyes were red with emotion. He said it was too late to terminate. A male pregnancy was already high risk. Terminating it now would kill him too. Leo said he would rather die. He bolted from the infirmary. He ran towards Julian's private suite. He wanted to see him one last time. He wanted to give him the locket. His commander shouted for the others to stop him. His colleagues rushed towards him. He fought them off one by one. They seemed to be holding back. Perhaps his desperate crying moved them. They fell to the ground with exaggerated groans. The commander yelled at them to stop pretending. His rival agent stood in his path. Leo's face was pale, his voice choked with sobs. He begged the agent to let him pass. The agent's expression softened. He lowered his weapon. Leo stumbled past him. The agent then blocked the commander. The commander slapped him hard. He shouted that Leo was going to his death. The agent remained silent, blocking the path. A heavy rain began to fall. He reached Julian's suite, completely soaked. He was about to open the door. He saw two familiar figures inside. He quickly hid. It was the two guards who had tried to kill him. What were they doing here? A terrible thought began to form. He pressed his ear against the wall. He heard one of them report to Julian. They had failed to capture the target. He had escaped into the estate's grounds. They asked if they should lock down the estate. Julian's voice was cold. The target was still alive. His own blade had grazed his shoulder. He was wounded and couldn't have gone far. Leo sank to the ground. His body felt cold from head to toe. The client was Julian. He wanted him dead. Did Julian know he was the agent, Leo? He had seen his face without a mask. Julian had recognized him. It was all a cruel game to him. A sharp pain shot through his abdomen. He clutched his stomach. This was Julian's child. He could not die. The door was suddenly thrown open. Julian stepped out. The commander knelt before him. He started to report that Leo was missing. Julian grabbed his shoulders forcefully. He demanded to know what happened to Leo. The commander said he had not returned. Leo quickly wiped his face and hid again. Julian's voice roared through the rain. He ordered a complete search for him. He dragged his tired body to find his commander. The commander's eyes widened in shock. He secretly smuggled him out of the estate. Alex found a corpse of similar build. He made a cut on its shoulder. They threw it into the estate's pond. The next day, it would be discovered. They would claim he had drowned. After escaping, he realized the locket was gone. He thought it was lost for good. It was a shame. It had cost him a lot of money. He couldn't go back to his old apartment. He disguised himself as a homeless man. The rain, his wound, and the pregnancy took their toll. He collapsed on a street corner. He woke up in a small clinic. The doctor told him he was lucky. He would have died otherwise. He immediately checked his stomach. The doctor assured him the baby was fine. He felt a wave of relief, then dizziness. The doctor took pity on him. He let him stay at the clinic. He taught him about herbs and medicine. He helped out by preparing prescriptions. A month and a half passed. He overheard a conversation between two customers. The entire security unit at the Croft estate was to be executed. They had apparently let an assassin escape. One man said a billionaire shouldn't keep such guards. He fed and housed them, and they betrayed him. A box of herbs fell from Leo's hands. They scattered across the floor. His heart pounded in his chest. His hands trembled uncontrollably. Executed? All of them? He ran out of the clinic. A large crowd had gathered at the estate gates. He pushed his way to the front. His commander and all his colleagues were kneeling. Executioners stood behind them with weapons raised. Alex was there. His rival was there. All the men who helped him escape were there. He walked towards them. His commander's eyes widened in horror. He took off his disguise. He stood in the center. He met Julian Croft's gaze. He said Julian wanted him. He told him to let the others go. Then he collapsed. Before losing consciousness, he saw Julian's panicked eyes. Was the boss worried about him? He woke up in Julian's bed. He moved his hand. The sound of a metal chain rattled. Julian was sitting by the bed. He was staring at him intently. Leo sat up abruptly. He clutched his stomach and backed into a corner. Julian seemed taken aback. He asked if Leo was afraid of him. Leo insisted he wasn't. He forced himself to ask about his commander. Julian's brow furrowed. He said they were in the high-security prison. The first rule of the unit was absolute loyalty. They had hidden him from their boss. That was the ultimate betrayal. Betrayal was punishable by death. He regretted involving them. He knelt on the bed and bowed to Julian. The chain rattled with each movement. He begged Julian to let them go. He claimed he had forced them to help him. If Julian wanted someone dead, he should kill him. He pleaded for him to spare the others. Julian grabbed his chin. His eyes were bloodshot. He asked why he cared about them. He was wasting away to nothing. Leo's throat was tight. He weakly grabbed Julian's sleeve. Julian released him with a shaky hand. Leo leaned over the bed, dry heaving. His head was spinning. The morning sickness had been severe lately. Julian's voice was tight with worry. He called for the doctor. Leo pushed him away and scrambled to the corner. He didn't want a doctor. If Julian knew he was carrying his child, what would happen? The baby might be killed too. The thought made fresh tears fall. His heart felt like it was being crushed. He told Julian he would not see a doctor. Julian threatened to kill them all immediately. Alex would be beheaded. His rival would be drawn and quartered. His commander would suffer death by 1,000 cuts. Leo's face went white. He looked up at Julian, terrified. Tears streamed from his eyes. He would see the doctor. He begged him not to kill them. Julian held him as the doctor examined him. The doctor's expression grew stranger and stranger. Julian asked what was wrong with him. The doctor replied that he was pregnant. Leo closed his eyes in defeat. The secret was out. He felt a fierce gaze on his face. Julian gripped his wrist tightly. He demanded to know how a man could be pregnant. The doctor could not explain it. Julian asked how far along he was. The doctor said it was almost 3 months. Julian grabbed him again. He asked if it was his child. At this point, any answer meant death. He might as well be honest. He nodded with a pale face. Julian's eyes filled with a shocking joy. He had a child. He kissed Leo's face. He said they were going to have a baby. Leo stared at him, stunned. Julian wasn't angry. He was overjoyed. He ordered the doctor to prescribe supplements. He said Leo was too thin. He needed to be nourished. Leo slowly touched his stomach. He silently congratulated his baby. The boss wanted him. Perhaps he would be allowed to live until the birth. But before that, he had to use this child. He had to save his friends. He demanded to see his commander and Alex. Julian refused. So he started a hunger strike. The smell of food was agonizing. He was dizzy with hunger. Saliva pooled in his mouth. But he would not eat a single bite. Julian grew angrier each day. On the 3rd day, Leo was too weak to get up. Julian threw his chopsticks down in a rage. He said no one had ever defied him before. Leo was the first. Leo clutched his stomach. Cold sweat beaded on his forehead. As the pregnancy progressed, he needed the bathroom more often. But he had no strength left. Julian came over. He saw the sweat on his pale face. He asked what was wrong. Leo bit his lip. He looked at Julian with shame. He needed to use the bathroom. The humiliation was overwhelming. Julian stared, then laughed without humor. He said Leo was not so tough now. He told him not to ask for help. Tears of frustration welled in his eyes. He clutched the sheets. He couldn't soil the boss's bed. He lightly tugged Julian's sleeve. He begged for help. He had no strength. Julian clenched his jaw. He lifted him into his arms. After setting him down, he moved to help him. Leo covered himself quickly. He insisted he could manage. Julian said he liked to finish what he started. He helped him, then held him close. He sighed softly. He agreed to let him see them, but he had to eat first. He ate ravenously. Then he was taken to the cells. His colleagues all looked up. Their eyes were full of worry. Then they saw Julian behind him. They all dropped to their knees. Leo saw their clothes were stained with blood. The metallic smell was overpowering. He almost fainted. He turned and knelt before Julian. He bowed his head to the stone floor. He begged Julian to release them. The rough stone cut his forehead. Blood trickled down his face. Julian grabbed his arms forcefully. He pulled him up. He told him to stop. He held him in his arms, checking his forehead. His eyes were red with anger. He ordered the guards to release everyone. Leo felt a huge weight lift from him. He watched as his friends were freed. His commander looked guilty. Alex looked worried. His rival just stared at him, his lips pressed tight. Leo gave them a small smile. Everyone was alive. That was all that mattered. After leaving the prison, Julian chained him to the bed again. For the sake of the baby, he ate on schedule. He took his medicine. He knew Julian wanted this child, so he ate as much as he could. He would make the baby strong and healthy. Then they could take it from his body. Julian slept beside him every night. His hand always rested on Leo's belly. He allowed the touch without protest. Julian clearly treasured his first child. Every time he looked at Julian, a sense of loss overwhelmed him. He would hide his face in the blankets. His eyes would sting with tears. He would tell himself not to be greedy. His friends were safe. The boss wanted the child. His own actions deserved death 1,000 times over. What more could he ask for? But he still cried secretly at night. He was still not satisfied. He wanted to live. He wanted Julian to love him. He knew it was impossible, so he channeled his pain into eating. He would eat, vomit, and eat again. Julian stopped going to his office. He unlocked the chains from Leo's wrists. He held him tightly, his eyes red. He asked what was wrong with him. He said he shouldn't have chained him. He suggested they go out for a walk. Leo agreed. They would go out and eat more. They would eat things the baby had never tasted. Things he had never tasted. It was the autumn festival. He remembered sneaking out with Alex once. They had watched the parade of fire lanterns. The sight had been breathtaking. Now he sat in the best viewing balcony. The lanterns snaked through the street below. He could not find the same joy he once felt. His hand rested on his stomach. He hoped the baby was enjoying the show. Usually, his commander gave everyone a pastry. They would eat and drink together. Now, the table was piled high with expensive chocolates. Each one was a design he had never seen. He started eating them one after another. He couldn't seem to get enough. Julian returned to find the scene. He swept the chocolates off the table. His voice trembled with emotion. He begged Leo to stop eating. Leo stared at his empty hands. The world started to go dark. He collapsed. He woke up back in the bed. Julian sat beside him. His colleagues were all kneeling on the floor. He was 5 months along now. His belly was showing, but his arms and legs were unnervingly thin. It didn't matter. As long as the baby was healthy, he was just a vessel. The doctor was kneeling, trembling. He explained that the child was growing large. The birth would be very difficult. Leo turned his head slightly. He said they could just cut him open. Julian's eyes were red with fury. He told him to be quiet. The doctor continued speaking. He said the fertility drugs had altered Leo's body. He had developed a way to give birth naturally. If the baby was not too large, it was possible. Julian asked if there were risks. The doctor said it was riskier than a normal birth. Leo stared at the doctor. A ringing filled his ears. He could give birth naturally, but he was going to die anyway. It was too much trouble. He said a C-section would be fine. As soon as he spoke, his colleagues looked up. Julian suddenly hugged him. His voice shook in Leo's ear. He promised he would not cut him open. He told him not to think such things. From that day on, Julian controlled his diet strictly. He couldn't eat an extra bite. In his dreams, he was blindfolded again. Julian pulled him into the room. He kissed him and tore at his clothes. Then he suddenly grabbed his throat. He snarled that Leo had dared to deceive him. Leo woke up with a gasp. He was drenched in cold sweat. Julian pulled him into his arms. He asked what was wrong, but Leo was trembling with fear. He was a coward. He was afraid of dying. He was greedy. He wanted to see his baby's face. Julian kissed his cheek reassuringly. He told him it was just a nightmare. He whispered for him not to be afraid. Leo stared at him. He asked why Julian was kissing him. Julian stroked his face. It was because he liked him. He told Leo to get well soon. Julian liked him. He didn't believe it, but he had been saying it constantly lately. He was probably just trying to ensure a safe delivery. But even without the sweet words, he would eat properly. He liked this baby too. He closed his eyes and tried to sleep. He heard chaotic footsteps outside. Someone shouted about an intruder. The door was kicked open. He woke with a start. Julian was instantly alert. He shielded Leo with his own body. A group of masked men flooded the room. Their leader declared it was Julian's last day. Julian pushed Leo behind him. His eyes were sharp and dangerous. He drew a blade from beside the bed. In the chaos of the fight, Leo protected his stomach. He tried to make himself a small target. A blade flashed towards him. Julian lunged in front of him. The weapon sliced into his shoulder. He grunted in pain. Blood soaked through his shirt. The assassins were subdued. Leo held him, shaking all over. Something hard was digging into his side. He looked down. The silver locket was stained with blood. He stared at it. It was the one he had lost. Why was Julian wearing it? He picked it up and wiped away the blood. His heart fluttered. Tears filled his eyes. Julian wiped his tears away gently. He told him not to cry. The fog in his mind began to clear. His heart pounded in his chest. Julian had said he liked him many times. Why hadn't he understood? Julian was a powerful man. He could have anyone he wanted. But he treasured this child. He let Leo sleep in his own bed. He cared for him tirelessly. He had even taken a blade for him. Julian truly loved him. He hugged him tightly. His tears soaked Julian's shirt. He cried out for help. He told them the boss was hurt. He had been so afraid. He had covered his ears and closed his eyes. He didn't want to hear Julian say he didn't love him. He didn't want to hear it was only for the baby. But he had loved Julian for a long time. On the day of the delivery, Julian paced outside. He was nearly mad with anxiety. Leo lay on the bed, following the midwife's instructions. The midwife told him to breathe. They would try again. The door was suddenly pushed open. Julian rushed inside. He shoved an old nurse aside. He took a cloth and wiped Leo's sweat. He asked if it was very painful. Leo shook his head and gripped his hand. A loud cry filled the room. The midwives knelt on the floor. They congratulated Julian on the birth of a son. Leo lay limply in Julian's arms. Julian kissed his ear. He whispered that Leo was amazing. He had given him a son. Leo closed his eyes. He felt as if he were blindfolded again. The client was untying the cloth. He said that he loved him. Julian finished his debrief with the unit commander. He threw his tactical knife on the table. He asked who had actually cut him during the staged attack. The rival agent, Kane, stepped forward. The commander pointed a finger at his head. He asked if Kane was insane and wanted to die. The boss had specifically ordered a fake fight. He had almost cut Leo. Kane looked up with a dark expression. He said he never intended to harm Leo. He was angry Julian had been cut. He had to make it look real. Alex took a step back. He said Kane was terrifying. He thought he hated Leo the most. Kane's lips moved slightly. He said he never hated him. He just couldn't stand his dazed expression. Later, Kane was on surveillance duty. In the suite, the baby stirred in his crib. He made small, happy noises. Leo pretended to be asleep on the main bed. Kane silently dropped down from his perch. He walked quietly to the crib. He slowly extended one finger. The baby grabbed it with his tiny hand. A smile formed on Kane's masked face. After that night, an agent fell from my rafters. He had fallen asleep on the job. It had never happened before. It was supposed to be Alex's shift. But this man was not Alex. I told him to look up. His startled eyes met mine. They reminded me of a cat. He was cute and a little dazed. I was curious about the face under the mask. I ordered him to remove it. His skin was pale and flawless. His features were delicate. His face strongly resembled the man from the previous night. The man who was my remedy. To confirm my suspicion, I summoned him the next day. It was him. This little agent had a lot of nerve, but his reactions were endearing. I couldn't resist moving him to my personal detail. He was clumsy and innocent. I liked him a great deal. I enjoyed teasing him. I looked forward to our next session, but he tried to quit. He said he had fallen for someone else. He was going to give a silver locket to this person. Someone could buy his body for $2,000. But he spent a small fortune on this locket. When had he fallen for someone else? The thought filled me with a burning rage. I told him to get out. My anger made my security team misunderstand. They thought I wanted him eliminated. They were a team of fools. Luckily, he was skilled enough to escape. He made it back to the estate. His commander would surely help him there. But the commander reported he never returned. An immense panic seized me. I went mad. I ordered them to find him no matter the cost. They eventually pulled a body from the pond. The face was bloated and unrecognizable. There was a wound on the shoulder. It was laid out on the ground. My men knelt to identify the blade work. But I knew it wasn't him. He would not die so easily. It was them. It was his friends in the unit. They had hidden him. These traitors. I wanted to kill them all. I had them all thrown in the high-security prison. But I knew if I executed them, Leo would never return. I began searching for him. He had vanished completely. He was wounded that day. I waited a month and a half. I waited for the doctor's estimated recovery time. Then I leaked the news of the impending execution. They had a strong bond. I knew Leo would come back. He did. He took off his disguise. He revealed the face I longed to see. He was so thin. My brow furrowed. I wondered how he had been surviving. Then he fainted. The doctor said he was pregnant. Almost 3 months. It was my child. I was overjoyed, but he was miserable. He started a hunger strike to free his friends. I thought he was in love with one of them. That night I held his locket. I was consumed with jealousy. He refused all food. He became too weak to even stand. I had to help him. I saw how pale his face was. It broke my heart. I would let him see them. I was not that unreasonable. But he knelt for them. His head was bleeding. For their role in saving him and my child, I released them. Leo became more compliant after that. He ate his food and took his medicine. I thought things were getting better. I was wrong. Something was terribly wrong with Leo. He loved me. That was the source of his pain. He believed I was only keeping him for the baby. He thought I would kill him after the birth. I kept telling him I loved him, but he would not believe me. How could I make him believe? I started wearing the locket I had found. I ordered his friends to stage an attack. I was injured protecting him. He cried in my arms. I told him over and over that I loved him. The little cat finally understood. I held him tightly. I was so thankful he finally believed me.